Well, it's time for the big boys to take to the track for MXGP qualifying. We're going to have a word with a few of them now and see if we can interrupt David Philipparts. David, I'm going to cast your mind back to last weekend in Madura, because whilst Tony Cairoli won the Grand Prix, there were many happy faces to see your result.
Yeah, I'm so happy for last weekend. I'm a home GP and for sure I'm a little bit better than the other race. But we focus for stay in the top 10 every GP, and Majora is a surprise also for me. I'm so happy for my team, for my body help me, and yeah, we focus for Toshintan now, and we see it's better.
Thanks, David. It was great to see that result. We'll move on up and we'll have a word with Jake Nichols. Jake, unfortunately, you were forced to pull out of last weekend's Grand Prix in Majora with a suspected broken hand. The good news is that is not broken.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I struggled away on Sunday morning after I was in the qualifying race. I just got a rock. I didn't crash, but a rock from another rider hit my hand, and yeah, I was sure it was broken because I couldn't ride with it at all. But Monday X-ray showed it wasn't broken, so yeah, I was pretty pleased with that, but pretty confused as to why I couldn't ride with it. But a few different opinions. They said, you know, something ligament in the knuckle can be worse than a broken bone. So but I didn't ride all week, but it doesn't feel too bad this morning. So stick at it. I can hold on now, so that's the main thing. And yeah, it should be all right.
Thanks, Jake. Best of luck this weekend. Right, let's take a look at MXGP qualifying.
Jeremy Van Hoorbeek was fastest in time training on his factory Yamaha, ahead of Tony Cairoli on the Red Bull KTM and Stephen Frossard, Monster Energy Kawasaki, with Max Nagel, HRC Honda, back from injury and missing a handful of Grand Prix. Back here, MXGP of Germany, his home race. He was fourth in time training. Fifth was Dessau, and behind him was his teammate, Kevin Strybos. Slightly windy conditions, but didn't dampen any of the spirits on the crowd here. On board with Tony Cairoli, dropping downhill towards turn one. Max Nagel getting the whole shot. If you go back on board with Antonio Cairoli. Back end's working overtime through the first couple hundred metres. Kevin Strybos putting a challenge early on Nagel, going around the outside. Wasn't without a fight though from Nagel, who lost ground in that little exchange. And the 25 of Clement Dessau went through. So on the opening lap, it was a 1-2 for the 22 and the 25 of Strybos and Dessau. Nagel was in third, but he was being pushed by Cairoli. And just ahead of him there, number 89, Jeremy Van Hoorbeek, who put the squeeze on Cairoli just after the finish line, just to make sure he held on to fourth position on the opening lap. But fourth, not good enough for Van Hoorbeek. You see there, he put a pass on Nagel, got himself into third. Kevin Strybos, though, already a two-time qualifying race winner earlier on in the season. Qatar and Brazil was looking good in the early stages of the race, as the two Kawasaki's, Tommy Searle 100 and Stephen Frossard 183, gave chase. They were down in 7th and 8th place early on. Clement Dessau, fresh from his crash in Italy a week ago, showing no signs apart from a slightly sprained wrist. He's having a good ride, trying to fend off Jeremy Van Hoorbeek in that battle for second position. Kevin Strybos, though, starting to pull clear. On board here with Dennis Ulrich on the Saarholz KTM, working his way around Jake Nichols, put him in 15th place, around about lap 6. So the German crowd supporting Max Nagel here, number 12 on the HRC Honda, and of course Dennis Ulrich as well. Cairoli just happy to let things happen ahead of him. He was more than content in 5th position on the Red Bull KTM. Tommy Searle and Stephen Frossard, though, started to close in at one stage of the race. That put his 5th place under threat. No concerns for Strybos, though. His teammate, Dessau, was coming under attack from the 89 Van Hoorbeek, who scrubbed his way neatly over the top of the hill and emerged in front of his fellow countryman. Dessau, that put him into 2nd position. And then Nagel started to challenge Dessau, and this was the battle for 3rd place. Cairoli just doing enough to hang on there in 5th position. Crowd really getting behind Max Nagel on the number 12. Got himself 3rd, then put the chase on the 89 Van Hoorbeek for 2nd position in what was turning out to be a pretty interesting and intense end to MXGP qualifying. Tommy Searle Felt the pressure from the 183 Stephen Frossard, who was backwards and forwards onto the rear wheel of the Brit. Sean Simpson, who had a good start, was pushed down to 9th as Guarnieri went through in 8th on the factory Ritchie TM. Looking good at the front though. Number 22, Kevin Strybos. Rockstar Energy Suzuki. Started to be pressured by the 89 of Van Horbeek in the closing stages. Nagel was comfortable in 3rd as DeSalle just started to lose ground on the leading trio. Frantic action here, Ulrich and Kenda Dyker. That was the Dyker going through for 15th. Ulrich tried to go around the outside, but it was the long way round in the end. Kevin Strybos up, final lap. Van Horbeek, who threw everything at Strybos. But as they went down past pit lane, eventually Van Horbeek decided, you know what, 1 corner to go, you can have it. In the end, it was Strybos, Van Horbeek, Nagel, DeSalle and Kai Rowley in MXGP qualifying.
Kevin Strybos, well done. You are the winner of today's MXGP qualifying race. It got extremely close with Jeremy there on that final lap.
Yeah, sure. No, I think got a good start. Finally, it's been a while since I got a good start. So then, I think I passed Max first corner, so which was good. I could ride my own race, and in the end, got some arm pump. So I was riding a little bit tight, and then the last corner, was pretty excited. Almost got second, but yeah, happy with the win, and it's good for the It's good for the races.
Great job. We'll see you tomorrow. Well done.